Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams, and welcome to your reading. That turned on quicker than I thought it was going to, but that's okay. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe. Thank you, Spirit. Something's gonna happen sooner than you planned. I'm hearing it's gonna hit faster. So this could be an intention that you set. And Divine says, when your magic works, own it. So whatever intention it is that you have recently set, that you are about to see pop off, manifest in a very beautiful way, own it. It was not luck. It was not just by chance that it happened. It's because you set an intention and you worked towards that goal. So own it. Divine says, we, your spirits, are very proud of you. You have every right to be proud of you too. Okay? I'm hearing this is something that you desire, but it's also in line with your divine purpose, and it is also something that you need. Okay, so it's an alignment. When I was making my tea, something came through, and Spirit was like, you, the Divine Collective, are so amazing and miraculous because you've seen so many things. You've been exposed to a lot. You've seen a lot. And a lot of what you've seen has not been easy to watch. You've seen a lot of ugly things. But despite that, you are still so driven to make the world an even more beautiful place. Because a magical thing about you is that despite all the ugliness in the world, you still recognize the beauty in it. And you are here to add to that beauty. And to remind people that they have beauty within them, within their soul, within their spirit. So keep doing what you're doing to make the world a more beautiful place. It is working, and it makes a difference, a very big difference. Yeah. People love what you do. They do. They love what you do, and your spirits love what you do as well. Okay. I love that for you, beautiful being. Let's go ahead and start with this deck. See what's coming through for you. Okay. These want to come out. Okay. Ooh, this is card 28. 2 and 8 is 10. And card 5. It's ties and guardian. Now, this ties card, it reminds me of a party scene. Okay. Looks like a party scene. There could be some beings that want to remain tied to you. They want to do some things that maybe either don't align with you anymore, like maybe it's things that you used to do, you're just not interested in doing anymore, or it could be that they want to drag you into a space that just as an appeal to you, okay? Also, it could be something that they want you involved in that is really negative for you at this point in time in your life. I'm seeing people say like, come on, and trying to entice you into something that you're not interested in doing, but they want to reel you in. I'm hearing they want you to play games with them, okay? There's somebody who really wants to keep these ties going, or they want to reestablish some ties that you have cut. I'm hearing you successfully cut them. Yeah, and I just looked at my Libra poster. I'm seeing the scales of justice. Justice, you have cut the ties and balanced your energy. But there's somebody who wants to entice you. I keep getting that word, okay? They want to tempt you, tempt and entice. You have guardians. This could be a feminine energy. It could be an ancestral spirit. It could also be an energy that you work with. Lilith, Kali. Okay, there's something here about, and it doesn't have to be them, but those who are coming through. Hecate. They're guarding your energy because you've worked so hard to keep it pure. And they said that when your energy is pure, you're free. And that's what they want to protect, is your freedom. I'm also getting that these ties could involve a family. Could be a mother figure. It doesn't have to be your mother, but it could be a mother figure, or some females or feminine energies, okay? They come across in the physical realm as feminine in their appearance. That's what's coming through. But they want to compete with you. And ever since you cut ties with them, they feel like they don't have any fun. They used to sit around and gossip about you, trying to compete with you. And they feel now like you spoiled their fun because you're protecting your energy, doing exactly what you're supposed to do, but you spoiled their fun. Well, they can find fun somewhere else because that wasn't fun, that was cruelty. Let's call a spade a spade. That was insecurity within them. That was envy within them that they allowed to manifest as cruelty towards you. I'm hearing they wanted you to be their sounding board, so they may have vented to you a lot. They may have used you for free therapy, okay? Yeah. I see why you cut those ties, beautiful being. Keep those scissors handy. Because, yeah, you're not going back there. And you've got spirits that are protecting you, making sure that you don't go back to those days. Okay, we've got forgiveness and intervention. Oh, this is very toxic though. Look at that card. It almost looks like there's blood in their hand. There's somebody here who feels like they have blood on their hands. They feel very guilty about what they've done to you. I'm hearing behind your back and in your face. They may have thought that they were doing something. Somebody from this toxic group maybe thought that they were doing something behind your back, but you knew what was going on. You were peeping game. You knew exactly what they were doing. And even if you didn't have all the details, all the dots connected at the time, you had this feeling that they weren't loyal, that they weren't true, that they weren't supportive. Okay, it didn't feel like community. It felt like coven energy. It felt like cultish behavior, cultish shenanigans. Okay? Because I am getting that there was somebody, that's what I kept getting with this person. There's somebody here who was leading the group against you. And there were people here who were meeting one another with the intention of coming against you. Okay? So you're very aware of these energies and their intentions towards you. I am getting that now they are not only feeling very miserable, but they're indulging in a lot of things that they should not be indulging in. That's why they want to come to you for forgiveness. This is card 43. 4 and 3 is 7. That's like, I'm getting 7 of swords. So there were a lot of lies that were being told. And they feel like they have blood on their hands and they want to extend a bloody hand to you, which is gross, right? But what I'm getting that means spiritually is that they have not cleaned themselves up. They have not changed their behavior. They still have guilt and toxicity and shame all over them energetically. And they want to come to you like that. So they want forgiveness, but they haven't made any changes. So forgiveness is a very personal thing that's within you. That has nothing to do with them. As long as you're releasing any resentment and not allowing yourself to carry burdens that are not yours to carry, you're good. Okay, but there could be some projections of guilt that they're trying to send your way in order to get you to receive them into your realm for another go round of drama, and you're just not having it. All right, we got intervention here. So there's some sort of, look, I heard coming in like the Titanic, and they're gonna sink too, just like the Titanic. That's a boat you don't want to get on. Okay, we're not getting on that ship. That ain't the one. But there is something here about someone trying to, I'm getting the vibe of messages, like they're trying to send messages. This could be somebody from this toxic group who wants to reach out in order to, I'm hearing tattle on the rest. Like they want to give you some information about what was really going on behind the scenes, just to get you involved, get you entangled. That's what they want. They want you to care about this situation. They want you wrapped up in the web of these beings. And I just looked at my sun poster. There's something about the fact that you know everything that you need to know. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, besides, you're a rebel. You're going your own way. The drama with this group is not worth your time. It just isn't. There's no benefit in it. But somebody's trying to use or like entice you with the energy of, I'll tell you everything that was going on, because they know that they were doing dirty work. That's why there's blood on this hand here. They're coming to you with a lot of guilt that they're going to show you. I'm hearing they're not going to show you all their cards anyway. They just want to tell you a little bit just to reel you in. These could be people who work with energy as well. And so they know that when they get you interested in something, there's an energetic bond that's being created. It's being fortified there. And that's just not the direction that you're going in. Okay? Divine, is there anything that this beautiful being needs to know about this group or about these energies? Yeah, they're confused. They're confused and they want you confused. And I just noticed this like a couple weeks ago when I looked at this card. I've seen it a lot, but like when I look at this, it's actually bricks or maybe chimneys coming out of the head. But when I look at it like this, it looks like a hand that's like going through the mind, through the head, and coming out like that. So it reminds me of the energy of like somebody invading your mental space. That's what they want to do. they want to grab hold of your thoughts. And I'm seeing somebody with a lasso. Somebody might like that motif, like Western cowgirl, cowboy kind of stuff, you know, horses. And yeah, somebody might ride horses, or they might like horses. But there's something here about somebody wanting to reel you in. They want you under their control. And so they're thinking of really, I wouldn't say creative, but it does take some thought. Like the things that these people are doing, they're able to come up with these ideas because they are stuck in a frequency of being a loser. And what I mean by that is that they're giving way too much thought to how they can control someone else. That's why they're coming up with all of these different ways to reach out to you, and little tactics and strategies as to how to reel you in and gain control over you. It's never going to happen, okay? But it doesn't happen because you're aware enough to sense that energy and to sense their intentions, but you're also pure enough of heart to really not care about what they're doing, and just be free-spirited and be that rebel energy, you know? Be the rebel and do you. Not feeling like you have to go along with this group or this crowd or whatever, and not feeling like you have to succumb to their energy just to get whatever it is that you would want from them. Whether it's, you know, if this is a family group, a lot of times people do feel pressured to do things that they don't want to do around people that they don't even like because it's family, you know? Or if there's maybe this is a group of people that you live close by and you feel like, well, I just want to keep the peace. Or maybe the peace is really feeling like you don't have to speak to people that don't respect you, and you can go in your house or your apartment or your condo, shut the door and breathe and know that your energy is pure and you're doing exactly what you want to do. Maybe that's keeping the peace, you know? So it's no longer about satisfying that little itch that we're programmed to have, to want to do what's socially acceptable or what's acceptable because they're family. No, you're doing what you're here to do, okay? You're doing exactly what you are here to do. Yeah, and you're carrying a torch. So there's some fire that you have. It gives you this divine rebellion to be like, I don't care what you're doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. Because what you won't do is be in this state. Thinking about nonsense. And see, when you're thinking about things that this group identifies with, that blocks a creative flow. Okay, what else, Spirit, is coming through? Ordinariness. Yeah, there's something about this like peace where, you know, they might be alone in the physical realm, right? But they're in nature. So I guarantee you this person doesn't feel like they're alone. They are in an environment that is peaceful. There's fresh air. They're able to commune with the divine and with their spirits. And they're doing something that they enjoy. You might be gardening, or you might have like a small herb garden or something like that. Okay? But you're doing things that you care about. This just feels so toxic. I mean, and all the cards that came out with this, it's like, no thank you. Yes, this is exactly the vibe that I was feeling, was the energy of the Fool, where it's kind of like what I call the Goku vibe, where Goku, he'll fight if he needs to now, but he fights because, you know, it's in his blood. It's a part of him to do spiritual warfare, which is like what you do is spiritual warfare when you need to. But with him, of course, it's physical fighting. But it's like he doesn't fight because he hates people. He doesn't fight because he's evil. He fights because to him, fighting is an art. It's something that you do to become a better person, to become stronger, you know, to tap into your natural gifts. And you're tapping into your natural gifts because you're giving yourself the space to do it, the freedom to do it, where you're really not caring about what's behind you. You know that there's so much in this present moment for you that's beautiful, and you look forward to your future as well, you know? Yeah. Okay, they had already told me to pull from this Star Tarot, so we're gonna see what's coming through here. Thank you, Divine. What is it? Oh, we got 10 of Cups and the Ace of Wands. I love it. And see, that's what focusing on what's important to you gets you. Okay? Oh, and I love it because it's the 8 of Cups just behind that 10 of Cups. Because what you've done is by walking away, I just looked at my Venus poster. Is love in the air? Okay. I know there's love within you, but it feels like there's also love that you attract with beautiful, divine, high vibe connections, because you are willing to walk away with the 8 of Cups. You are willing to walk away from what made you feel like you were sinking, you know? And that's the impact that a relationship that you know is not serving you, that's the impact that it has on us. You know, it's like you just feel like you're sinking because you know you can't go anywhere as long as you're attached to that person, because it's not a connection. It's not a divine vibe of love. It is hell. It's like, what do they want now? You don't even look forward to a person reaching out to you when it's toxic. You're like, what do they want now? You know, and it almost gets to the point where it's like, it's not that a group like this that's toxic keeps you from doing something so big and grand and important. It's like it gets to a point where you would rather sit and stare at the wall, minding your business but staring at the wall, than being in this kind of toxicity. And so there's something about now you having room in your life for the connections that matter, having room in your life for that harmonious emotional fulfillment that brings peace and pleasure. And these connections are stable, but they also flow because it's water, you know? So there's flexibility and there's harmony and there's peace, but there's also stability because you know who you're dealing with. It's not this toxic bunch that is one way on Monday and another way on Tuesday, or have 2, 3, 4, 5 faces. You know what I mean? One minute they're true to you, okay, because they're never really true when they're this toxic. And then the next minute they're putting 10 knives in your back, okay? Nobody has time for that. And that doesn't benefit anybody. So what's happening now is you're getting your spark back. You're able to create, and you're excited about creating. You're passionate about it. Also, with that opening message, something I hear about leaving yourself room energetically to see the beauty in the world. Whereas before it was like, maybe everything was looking grim. It's not because the world was grim, it was because the people around you were grim. They were envious of you. They were very jealous of you. They wanted to become you. You can't flourish in an environment like that where you've got people, if you're choosing to be around them. Now, it's one thing when we're in a situation for a little while where we have to be around some people that we don't, you know, that are truly toxic. But I feel like here you had a choice, and you chose the 8 of Cups. You chose to distance yourself from these beings, and you're so much better because of it. Your life is just, whew, look at that, the Chariot. you have balance now. You have a certain level of, I'm hearing capacity. So capacity is like ability. What's your capacity to do this? It's what is your ability? How far can you invest in this? How much can you invest in this? How much space, how much time do you have for this particular mission? So it's almost as if like, okay, maybe in your chariot, you had a whole bunch of toxic mofos that didn't belong in there, and they were weighing you down, taking up that space, taking up room that they didn't deserve, and they were weighing down your chariot. You were, wow. As long as that toxic bunch was in your chariot, you were never going to expand to the point that you are able to expand to the level that you deserve to experience, to fulfill what you were able to experience. You weren't ever going to experience that with those people in your chariot. They didn't belong in it. Okay? Yeah, because they were constantly presenting illusions. You didn't know what you were going to get from them on any day of the week. Seven of Cups. They were presenting illusions and falsehoods, and you didn't know what you were going to get from those cups that they were offering you. It was different every day. And so you knew that the only way to get your peace was to get them out of your chariot, get them out of your zone. Yeah. This is truth. This is facts. But also, now you have a certain level of clarity that you didn't have before when they were in your environment. You're able to think clearly. I just got an image of you waking up in the morning, like there's a little bit of sunlight coming in your window, and you just feel refreshed because you know the energy that's in your realm. It's truthful. Ace of Swords. It's honest. It's not this Seven of Cups nonsense. And the people who want to come back into your realm, they're still in the Seven of Cups. They haven't changed. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. What else needs to be known here? Okay, we've got somebody could be dealing with child support. So some of these people who want to get back into your realm could be struggling with a child support situation. Okay. What else, Spirit? The dog days are over. The dog days are over. I love that song. Yes. The dog days are over. Okay. And if that child support situation applies to you, then there's something positive that has shifted regarding that. There's something you don't have to worry about anymore. Okay? But I do feel like there's somebody in this group that's dealing with a situation with children, but this is because they were not responsible. This is because they were neglectful. There's a responsibility that they chose to overlook. And so they're in a very difficult situation now. That's not your problem, but they want to put it on your plate. There could be somebody here from this group that's asking for money or seeking your abundant energy because they're going through a tough situation regarding child support. Look, for you, the dog days are over. That's not for them. This card is coming through because Divine doesn't want you welcoming that energy back into your world because you have accomplished something so beautiful. Okay, so we have You know what? That's what that looks like. It looks like that, yeah, because they've got drinks at the table. So there could be somebody from this group who tried to use a substance or put a substance in your drink or in your food at some point in time in order to gain control over your thoughts, your actions, and perhaps physically they wanted control over you. That is, I mean, not only is that illegal, right? But it is maniacal, it is sadistic, it is one of the most hideous things that a person can do to another being, just to have control over them, which they shouldn't be seeking to have control over anybody but themselves anyway. And what are they doing trying to have control over you when they can't even get their children in check or take care of their responsibilities regarding their own children? But they wanted to have control over you? Priorities. What are we doing? They don't know what they're doing. Their only focus is their image, no inner work or healing. And that came through with them having this blood on their hands. They want to extend a hand to you like they got something to give you, but look at all this toxicity. They have not healed at all. All they care about is their image. So these are beings who are very superficial. And it's perfectly okay to care about your appearance and to want to look good. Hell, you know, I think it makes, you know, it makes a person feel good, right? But when that's all that a person cares about, or when they place that over the level of importance that they give the inner self, then it's a problem, okay? And that's not your people. Those are not your people, because you care about the whole self. You love your whole self. You're not just out here toxic as hell on the inside, but got a face full of makeup, you know what I'm saying? Or got a brand new outfit, you know what I mean? From Bloomies or wherever. Desperately worried about their image. Image keeps coming through. Using AI to produce false info about them in internet searches, okay? So they don't want to be seen by others. They don't want their truth to be known. The truth of who they are. They don't want that to be known. Unconditional love is what you deserve, beautiful being. And because you've cleared out this nonsense that they're trying to come into your life with, you have room for unconditional love. Also, I'm getting that that's why you all just aren't a match, is because you vibe with the frequency of true divine love. And in relationships, there is some sort of like condition to love. Okay, because we should not be with a person in any sort of relationship with a being that mistreats us or torments us in some way when they have the tools to learn how to do better, right? So there's something here about knowing your worth, knowing your value, and understanding that because you do the work to be a healthy, beautiful being, you do deserve unconditional love, because you're not out here stabbing people in the back. Okay? The tables have turned. So there's something that people in this group wanted you to go through that now they're going through. They fear how psychic you are. They've got skeletons. Yeah, they've got a whole bunch of things up in their closet that they don't want to come out. Your ancestors are handling the situation. So anything that has not been resolved, your ancestors are on it. But you have specific ancestors who are on the case. I see somebody with a broom in their hand. I don't know what they about to do with it, but they don't look like they playing. Okay. Ashe. Oh, Oshun. And see, this is coming through with that unconditional love. This is the energy that you deserve, because it's what you radiate. You deserve to receive what you give, and these are the frequencies that you radiate. Unconditional love, Oshun, beauty, wealth, magic. Okay, so we got some dark, and see, look, and it's the black and the red here that I'm seeing, which I love black and red, but I'm just noticing that there's somebody in this group who has a dark triad personality: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. So there's some very dark things, evil things, okay, because not everything that's dark is evil, but there's some very evil things going on within this group. Yeah, and it's not what you deserve to experience. You've got mail, so there's somebody who's sending email messages here, perhaps from fake accounts. They're trying to get into your realm somehow with fake messages. It doesn't have to just be email, it could also be through text messages, okay? But they're not presenting themselves as who they are. They just want to feel you out. They might be sending some sort of threatening messages or something like that. That's because they're afraid. They're so afraid. The only thing they can do to you now is project fear, because they are so afraid. So that's all that they have an abundance of within their realm to project towards you, because they are so afraid, first of all, of what you know. Your psychic energy scares the hell out of them. And especially if you're speaking truth or sharing truth in some way, and you're not acting afraid. The energy that I'm getting from you is like, you know what's going on and you're not afraid. You're at peace. That scares them even more. They're over in the corner shaking. So that's all that they're able to project towards you, because they don't have whatever was coming through with this narcissism and psychopathy and all of that. They're not on 10 with that anymore, because they've lost a lot of their energy. So the only thing that they have an abundance of that they're trying to hit you with is fear. So with the You've Got Mail, they might be sending some messages that, like, you know, would try to make you doubt yourself or doubt your intuition or your path or something like that. They need to be going and figuring out what they're going to do with them children. Okay? That's what they need to be focusing on. Because I don't know why anybody would make the time to make fake accounts and fake emails and all of that, and do all that shenanigans with somebody that is minding their business when they don't even have their kids settled, their kids straight. Okay, go feed them kids. Okay, go make sure they're good. Their quote-unquote lover doesn't want them anymore. Oh, it's just looking worse and worse. This could be a situation where their lover wants you. Okay? But anybody who would be involved with someone like this, I have a feeling that whatever lover it is of theirs that doesn't want them anymore but now wants you, you just might not want anything to do with them. Because birds of a feather, and if they were getting down with somebody up in this kind of pyramid, this the pyramid we don't want, then they can't come over to your realm, right? That's what I'm picking up on. Thunder, yeah, this is justice. They're feeling the rumble of justice, okay? Y'all know with me, when I hear thunder, that's Thor's hammer going to work. Mjolnir's doing its thing and delivering justice throughout the realms. They've been warned. They've been warned, okay? They're shamed and afraid. Yeah, we got that because I said they were over in the corner shaking. And that's why, low-key, like, they might come to you saying that they want forgiveness or to talk about something or let's forgive and kumbaya and all of that stuff. But what they are actually trying to project towards you is fear. Even if it's to sort of try to bring your frequency down so that you would be more willing to hear them out. No. Because if they were really ready to have a talk about forgiveness, they wouldn't still be trying to control and manipulate. Oh, I see. I knew, because that child energy kept coming through. So there's something here about these beings who are very, very evil. very, very evil. They do things that are illegal. They do things that are despicable. And more than likely, they're trying really hard to cover it up with some sort of false light, okay? They might use religion to try to cover up what they do. You know, it's like getting up and going to church Sunday morning to ask for forgiveness for what they're doing all the other 6 days of the week. And Sunday evening too. You know what I'm saying? There's something here about faking the light. So yeah, no, nobody has time for that. Nobody has time for that. Catfish, yeah, they are misrepresenting themselves. They're presenting themselves as someone totally different that's reaching out to you. It's them. And if you have been wondering if it's them, it's them. It's them. They fear your power and your gifts. And that's what it was always about in the first place. These people came through to try to test you, taunt you. They knew that they couldn't be you. So they just wanted to siphon your energy. But they couldn't even do that. Because after a certain point, you were like, I see who you are. And we're not about to do that. No. No, no, no. This is how you get down. Okay? And you knew that there was nothing with this frequency up in this group. So you said, no, thank you. I'm going to go get my 10 of cups. I'm going to get rid of this. So I can get this. I love it. You're doing it exactly right, beautiful being. You're doing it exactly right. That's how we do. Okay. I got so excited I forgot how this box opens. Something is opening up for you. Yeah. And it's like when it unfolds, you're not even going to be paying attention. You're going to be in that full energy. Like, just doing what you do because you love it. That's where spirit really wants you. They're reminding you, because now I see the purpose of this message. It's like these people just try to keep you on an old timeline, or at least thinking about an old timeline, because I feel like you ain't going nowhere near that timeline. But they want you thinking about it so that you have less and less time to fill your space with the creations that you're birthing. You know, they just want to feel significant. They want to feel important, and they're not, because you've evolved. Okay? You're evolving, and you're nourishing yourself with things that bring you joy and peace. That's where spirit really wants you. Because with this 10 of Cups and this new timeline, and you know, you've got guardians looking out for you that came through, you don't have time for that stuff that they're trying to keep on your radar. Also, we've got clear voice here. So you've got, oh, that came through in the last reading. Your clear audience is on it. Okay. Also, though, I know that you are hearing the voice of your ancestors, your spirit allies, and the divine. But also, beautiful being, you have a beautiful voice that you are meant to use in order to share truth, speak truth. You might also sing or love music, even if you just sing in the shower. There's something about your voice that's very purifying. It's like it purifies your energy when you speak. Okay. Also, I was seeing that flame with the Rebel card, and it's like you have fire, so that comes through in your voice as well, even though voice is more like throat chakra, air element. But there's something about your fire, your passion that comes through when you speak or sing as well. You have a very strong voice. Even if it's soft, it has strength in it, like the frequency of strength. And it brings, your words bring strength to people. Okay? There are people who might hesitate about doing something, or they might feel very shy or hesitant about being themselves. There's something about your voice that reassures them. You have a very reassuring voice. It's a very good divine vibe. Okay? You've got opportunities coming to you. Doors are opening up. There's a divine counterpart here. I keep getting that frequency. All right? Also, you're healing your family line, your lineage, because you are empowered. And I think that was one of the opening messages, was that there's an intention that you've set that had just the right power in it. And it's coming to pass. It's manifesting. Okay? Yes, claircognizance. Look, you just be knowing. You just be knowing. And it's like people will ask, like, well, how do you know? What are the facts? What are the statistics to support that? Do you have the evidence? You're just like, I just know. I just know. And there's something about becoming more and more comfortable with at least just knowing that within yourself, that you might not have the evidence. You might not have the research to back it up. But love, you know because you know, because you know, because you know. And that's good enough. Especially in this world where you can search up something and find something in AI from a source that we don't even know if that source is accurate, but AI is picking it up, and now it's evidence because here it says it on my screen. BS. That's some BS right there. Okay? So that feeling that you get and that knowing that you have, that same knowing that lets you know that those beings in that toxic group were not for you, that same knowing that you have when you just know that there's a creative idea that's for you, okay, no matter what some analytics might say or whatever, you just know that this is the right project for you. Go with it and know that that's the support you need, is your knowing. Do you feel like you know? Then you know, and that's good enough. You're not taking in any information from these beings from the past, and when you know that they're sending you something or projecting something through to you, you know that that is false information. It is not divine. So you are only taking in information that is divine. Anything from those beings from the past, you are crumbling it up and tossing it in the trash because that's where it belongs. Okay? Yeah, because you have a higher purpose. I don't even know how that how these cards are coming out, but yeah, you have a higher purpose, and so you have a higher focus, and it's not the people from the past. All right? Thank you so much, Divine, for these messages. I'm so grateful that you allowed them to come through me. And thank you, beautiful being. I thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Thank you also so much for your likes, your shares, your comments, your subscribes, your hypes, your donations. I appreciate every bit of beautiful, positive energy that you send through. And I'm so grateful. I love you. And I wish you peace. I wish you joy and so many blessings. Take care.